Hey everybody, this is Steve back in the shop. I want to do a follow-up video on my 300 rebuild, re-tear down, however you want to say it. Let me step over here. I had a problem. Had this tractor all put together. Ran great, driving it, and I had oil coming all from around the bottom. If you recall in another video, I tried to show where the oil was coming out, where the rear main seal carriage, holder, mount, whatever you want to call it, was bolted to the engine, where it was leaking. And I've since split the tractor here, as you can see. I've taken the flywheel off, clutch off, and I've taken the housing for the rear main seal off. That's where we are now. So let's walk over here to the workbench. And you can see this is the old top piece. You can actually look at that piece and see where it's warped. You see the mating surface where it bolts into the block here, here, and here. But if you look straight down it, you see a gigantic dip here, a gigantic dip right there. Ordinarily, now this is actually, believe it or not, it's actually a brand new felt piece that I put in there. And actually it looks like it's 100 years old, but it's actually new. Now at the time, that was the only one I had. I didn't have a replacement for this, so I tried to make do, and that obviously didn't work. So I bought one. I had some in the junk pile from an H. It was no good. All the threads were gone out of the bottom here. Where the oil, there's a plate that bolts onto this that holds the back of the oil pan. And all of the threads were gone in it, so I got this piece. We'll discuss this a little bit more. I replaced this bottom piece. It wasn't enough. So I took the top piece that came with it, and I've been working on this. And you can see, let's see if I can get a comparison shot here. You'll see the difference. You can see the difference how this one is somewhat straighter than this one. This sucker here is way off. Now this actually came out of an H. The H, from all the way from its beginning till the end of the run into the 300s, the 350s, all of it is all the same basic block. Now there were some changes along the line, don't get me wrong, but it's still the same basic block. That's a C169 and the 300s. The 350 escapes me right at this minute. If you look right there, if you ever want to know where to find it, that's your engine size right there for a 300. It bolts all the rear main seal is exactly the same. It all bolts in there. Flywheel is the same. You get into your differences in the clutch because these tractors have live PTOs and all that stuff, where the H didn't have that. But I digress here. To get back on the subject, I actually dug through my pile, and now that I'm making a video, I can't find it. So let's go back over here. I actually dug through my pile and found that I had another rear main seal for an H through 350. And if you want to look that number up, if you need one, there's a rear main seal. It's got all your different. Let me find it here. Right there we go. Of course, now they call all that liter crap, 2.9 liter, 2.7, 2.8, 2.5. That's all for the H through 350 stuff. There's your number. It gives you all your gaskets, gives you your rubber blocks, and your new felt pieces. And don't ever make the mistake of cutting these off when you put them on. The very first engine I ever rebuilt was that one for an M, and I had about that much sticking out, and I would have swore that they were too big, so stupid me, I cut it off. Don't do that. All right, now, if you look at this, I've been working on this one already. You can see I got some shiny spots here. When I started on this, it looked worse than this piece. And I had originally started on this, did a few licks on this one, but you can see the original had never been touched. And I'm working on this one here. It's coming down really nice. All you gotta do to get these things straight, find you a nice flat surface, nice piece of wood, or tabletop, toolbox top, whatever. And I can't hardly do this and hold the phone at the same time, but you can work this down. And these things are just made out of aluminum. That's why they warp. This is kind of thin over the years. The heat gets to them. But you get my drift, and I will continue to take this one down. It doesn't have to be this pretty and shiny all the way around here, but you want this to be able to touch the gasket. This was not. When I took this off the back of the tractor, I didn't realize just how bad that was. If I'd have been paying a little bit closer attention, I would have probably threw this in the scrap pile. So it's my own fault. If you'll notice the part numbers are the same here. It's a 6190 DA. This is for the H, and guess what you see for the 300? 6190 DA, same part number. So don't let there be any doubt with that. The bottom, same thing. Now what I'm going to do with the bottom, the exact same procedure. I'll start whittling that down as well to get these surfaces flat, so the gasket, all the silicone in the world is not going to seal that. If it's warped up so bad, you're just wasting your time. So when I get all this stuff back together, get the kit put back in and get the flywheel set on it, when it comes time to put the 300 back together, I'll make a real short video of that, how that goes along. I went ahead, when I split this tractor, these steel lines have absolutely zero play. So to conquer, as I was pull the tractor apart, I went on and took off the oil filter housing, because right in here is the inside of the hydraulic block goes under the pump. That was catching on the oil filter housing, and I didn't want to sit here and try to make this hard steel do something that the Almighty never intended for it to do. So I just went ahead and took it off. Gaskets are cheap. I can make a gasket in 10 minutes. My old homemade split and stand has worked out really, really well. I've lost count of how many tractors I've split with this thing. I had a guy ask me one time, well, why did you put trailer jacks on each side? Well, my response to that fellow was, if you ever have a tractor sitting in a shop whose tires go flat, if you look at that M right there, the right side tire went flat on me while it was sitting there. If you've got one of these things torn down and your tires go flat, be it a wide front or a tricycle, it's going to get cocked sideways, and you're going to be in a world of hurt trying to get everything lined back up. So this one here, I went ahead, when I made this, I made it for jacks. I put jacks on either side, so each side will adjust independently. Makes it a lot easier when I try to line that flywheel and the pilot shaft into the pilot bearing on that flywheel too. Something else I want to point out, I went ahead, when I had this apart, I put a new clutch and pressure plate on it. I had an issue with this pressure plate. And we can thank our folks in the Far East when they stamped this thing. And when I stamped it out, there was a raw edges on the ends of these things. And these raw edges, the stamping edges, where it wasn't a real smooth cut, were catching on the inside of the lip of the flywheel up front here. I took a real flap disc, sand disc on my grinder and gently dressed them off, problem solved. So just kind of keep your eyes open for that kind of stuff, because these are a lot of this junk that you get nowadays, a lot of the stuff that you get nowadays is import. So just kind of keep your eyes on what you're doing there. Other than that, it seemed like a pretty good quality piece. Here's a little bit closer view. There ain't a whole lot to this. There's a groove cut in the end of that shaft on purpose to help transfer oil. If you see that when you break one of these things apart, don't panic. It's supposed to be there. Don't make the mistake of ever losing one of these lineup pins on either side. I lost one of those on an H one time. didn't realize it and didn't catch it, put it all back together. I ended up splitting that tractor about 6 times trying to figure out why it was leaking oil everywhere. Come to find out that pin was gone, and that's hollow right into the block. So every time it ran, that oil would splash out that hole, and right down there it went, and right on out into the floor. And I had to do some serious repenting and ask the Almighty a bunch of favors after I got done splitting that tractor apart. So you kind of keep that in mind too. If you ever take this plate off, sometimes these pins will come off with the plate, and you'll lose the pin when you put it all back together. Anyway, there's today's lesson for you. All right, thanks for watching. I'll get some updates when I put this rebuild back together. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.